So, you know me, when I get on like a posting binge or whatever, a posting trend or however you want to say it, like I just post a couple videos for the day. But usually it just takes me a while to gather up a lot of information and thoughts, or gather up a lot of thoughts and think about them, and then say, hey, listen, this should be a video. I wanted to talk more about finding new streams of income, finding new revenue, thinking not only out of the box, but almost like a desperation mindset, you know, in some cases where you're just like, oh, I got to find something, or actually, no, not even a desperation mindset, because a desperation mindset can actually lead you into a lot of things. And it's desperation is more short term, but I guess an innovation mindset, I don't know. I don't like the word desperation for this, because essentially what I'm trying to do is use the skills that I have or that I've been actually working on. And then now I'm like, okay, well, man, we got to expose this. I don't care how it looks. Let's expose it. So what I've been doing lately is going to customers and saying, hey, listen, how do you handle your business intelligence? How do you handle, if you're working all these spreadsheets, what do you guys do with it? You know, a customer had approached me about it a while back and asked me more information about it, but that never really came to fruition in terms of actually doing some more other than meetings and lip service and stuff like that. Not lip service as in like, hey, listen, hurry up and just use me, but as in like, hey, you know, where's this really gonna go? Can we even start working on some type of tests so I can get some of your data, and then start working on how I can break said data down? So now I'm looking at doing this for other customers and saying, you know, what are you guys doing for business intelligence? Who are you using? How are you using it? Where are you getting this data from? How can we make it to where it's automated? Recently, of course, I've been, as I said before, but I've been looking for employment in the 90K range. And my little tagline, because they say, hey, listen, write something about yourself that describes you, but would really catch the eye of an employer. And my tagline is, one day I will write, what does it say? Damn. One day I will write my replacement. Sounds like a fun project. And literally, that's what I'm trying to do, is write my replacement. If not my replacement, other people's replacement. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, how can I get data, or how can I talk to customers about this stuff? So I just ask questions. You know, how do you guys deal with data? Like, what do you guys do with it? You know, how do you guys use business intelligence to do predictions and other things, or even run analysis on old stuff? Like, what does that look like? And my idea is, like, if I can get some information from these customers in terms of like the old information, and say, hey, listen, let me get some of your old reports and let me digitize and put them in a database, or not digitize them, but transform them and put that information into a database, and start running some type of queries against it, or not just queries, but start running some actual reports and see if we have any KPIs that we can look for, key performance indicators. See if we have any, what's it called? Man, there's other terms. I forgot because I was watching a video about it, and I know KPI is like a big one, so I used it. Yeah, I went there. But see if you have like any way, what do they call it? Any trends that we can discover out of this. How can you actually start marketing yourself to other companies, and how can you start marketing yourself to other vendors, in a sense, so they can actually use you, or you can actually make the right choice depending on a vendor, you know, getting that type of information. So I want to really start doing more in terms of web scraping, and which is really like low end stuff, but I want to do more in terms of just getting those reports, automating the retrieval of those reports, and then automating the addition of those reports into some type of platform, and working with things like Tableau. That would be really cool. So I'm trying to transition a little bit in terms of what I want to do and what I want to do for myself, because I want to really just have it as my own company. Like, I just want to do just that. Write these code bases and say, hey, listen, this is what I do to get this data. and probably even write it to where, hey, this is the software I need to, or this is custom software to get this report from this site that doesn't have an API of some sort. So I want to start low end on this case, or how I perceive it, low end to be, is data aggregation and data cleanup. I believe my friend calls it ETL, and I don't know, I never looked up what that meant, so I gotta look it up. But using using bash scripting, if anything, to get this information really quick, and then have that information, or take that to where I can or get that information using like a simple bash script or anything else, probably even Go would be kind of nice, depending on the amount of data that I have to process. But looking at it and saying, all right, do data aggregation, get all this data. Now I got all this data and I've put it in, these different collections. Now let's run reports where I can actually pull all that data together and match them up and correlate these different data sets and say, all right, cool, this is all the data for this manufacturer or what have you. So that's essentially what I'm trying to push now to customers. There's probably about 2 or 3 customers that I can market this to. One, I just left their office, and then I called the guy that usually does that. And then the second one, that was the second one, but the first one was yesterday. It just kind of clicked in my head. I was like, I should ask this question. So it's my new little thing, mainly data aggregation and cleaning up of data, and normalizing said data so it can be put into, like, say, a database or something like that. And essentially really putting my foot, or putting my whole body really at this point into into data sciences. So that's going to be something that's going to be kind of cool. And I'll probably be looking at working with Python pretty soon as well. I like Node.js, but I might use Node.js in terms of API stuff, but Python might do a lot of my data processing and number crunching. Or I may even, if it gets big enough and I have like huge data sets that I have to do a lot with, then I will probably even get into, what's it called? Oh man, what are these things called again? Golang. So the Go language, I should say, and start working with it if it gets really big. So, and then the second, actually, one of the companies actually does like real estate and stuff, and now the guy was talking about how they're getting like 300,000 records or something like that, and they have to crunch all that data. And I'm like, listen, let me work on crunching all that data for you. Let me start writing scripts that'll do other things, like even converting PSTs to EMLs, and then once you get those EML files, let me go through and parse that and put it in a database for you for possible long-term storage of your email and stuff like that. That's possibly something that would be good in terms of just working in the legal field. That'll be really kind of cool. So I don't know, I'm looking at a lot of stuff. Hopefully this will actually bear some type of fruit for me in the long run. But I'm probably just gonna have to give the services away for free to start out, so I can also learn, and then work with old data for customers and start putting up charts and everything like that for them and making reports. And once I have good enough skills, then I can say, hey, where's the money at? So anyways, that's my thought about trying to innovate and put myself into a new market, or put myself into a new stream of income in a sense, because it'll be separate from my other business or my IT business, because I'm just looking at how we can actually improve that and what we can do, and I want to get more into data sciences, so it's kind of a passion project as well. As always, thanks for listening. Bye. So I haven't uploaded the last one yet, so I'm just gonna attach it, or I'm gonna attach this video to it. It's been a couple hours since, probably like an hour or two. I talked to a customer, the point of contact. I couldn't do it while I was driving because, like, my phone has issues echoing and stuff like that. Talked to another point of contact at the same company, pretty much the third company that I had approached with this idea about doing data aggregation, ETL, which is, I actually looked it up. It's oh man, it's like transformation and load, transform and load. Yeah, something in ETL means like something, transfer and load. So doing all that type of work, I approached him and I said, hey, listen, is there a way that I could probably help you guys out and make that actually happen? And he's like, yeah, the guy that we have is horribly slow. So he was open to it. I already scheduled a meeting with him next week, Tuesday. So that's October 8th. So talked with him to talk with him and actually see what they do. My thought is probably use one of the projects that I've already put out there, which is a Node.js app called PostReceive, which is under my TreeStar Systems GitHub. So if you go to github.com/PostReceive, you'll see what I'm possibly going to be using for this, because I'm thinking, a lot. He's like, for those that don't have an actual API that they can actually get all the information from, they have to go and manually get all that information from the actual company. So I'm thinking, hopefully they have an option where those reports can be emailed out on a regular basis. If that's the case, yeah, then I can actually have it. I can have PostReceive email all of that information out to me on a regular basis, and then it just go to a Node.js script and just customize it from there. So like, if from this email address, then take out this attachment and then, run this suite of code, or this function here. So I can have customized functions instead of like customized functions for different data sources. Because most likely with these different data sources, you're going to get it like, the name field might be second as opposed to like having like an order field or something else. So hopefully this will work. I really want to check what the hell the E means again. Oh man, it's like something transfer and load. Oh man, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. And I'll probably put it in the comment section. But hey man, that's good. It could be a new business for me, a new stream of income. So yeah, pretty much marketing new services to my current customers and finding ways to do more for them, and essentially getting more from them for it. All right, peace.